Okay, in search of trying to understand why people are doing what they're doing, pretty much it's because um, they're never going to get the right answer. Why? Because of brainwashing. How deep is the? I've said it so many times. The brainwashing is so extensive that even people who think that, they've changed from their old views when they were brainwashed are not recognizing that the brainwashing is like an onion. You peel away one layer of the onion, you got more layers. It's the same with the brainwashing. You can't just peel away the upper crust and say that you're woke. You're not. The brainwashing, it's so intricate. It's unbelievable. And you peel off one and you just can't get there. When are you ever going to be able to really understand truth when it comes on planet Earth, when there's so much layers of brainwashing that kick in when you pull something off, an old scab, and then, the answer is it's an ongoing process. Is there anyone on the planet who's not brainwashed? I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody, even the long time modern day spiritual teachers like Deepak Chopra are, you look at the comments on Deepak Chopra's posts, and people are saying, Deepak, why are you wearing a damn mask? Seriously, I mean, why are you wearing a mask? And yes, he might be a medical doctor and Ayurvedic doctor, but the whole point people are saying is this is, we can see through the pandemic scamdemic. Deepak, why are you going along with it? And the answer is he's brainwashed. Certainly does come up with some interesting works, but he is not free from the brainwashing, and he's not doing anything to free himself from the brainwashing. Who else? Tony Robbins. He was popular way back, and I don't know, like start probably like the 1980. And like he still appears here and there. He's still got lots of name recognition, but what has he done with his life? He wrote an enormous book that I bought at one time. It's like I gave it to my cousin and he gave it back, and it's as thick as a brick. And Tony Robbins is as thick as a brick. That means I'm dumb. Tony Robbins is a dumb man. Very dumb, dumb. And we knew it when he was on TV in the 1980s. It was all like, now, did he do well? Apparently, he owns his own resort in Fiji. So Tony Robbins did well for himself. But what did he do for planet Earth? Sweet fuck all. Tony Robbins is a parasite. Deepak Chopra, what did he do for the world? Well, he helped to give us some interesting, enjoyable stories. Very good storyteller. But, does the things that he published in his works, do they really work in your life? No, they don't. They don't. So, he has this book, Synchrodestiny, which is probably 15 years old, and I've got a copy of it I got from the Nearly New. And no, you read it and it sounds wonderful, but then why doesn't it happen in your life? Why is it all these self-help things? It's like the originator of it. Oh, it helped in their life. It gave them a big bankroll, book sales or whatever. But why doesn't it work in your own life? And it's the same thing with James Redfield. Again, he was talking about synchronicity, and you said, you might get the random synchronicity here and again, but if you want to have constant synchronicity, and then he gives you some answer, and I look at it and I say, James, this is horseshit. This is not usable information for your readers. In fact, it pisses me off because you're still talking about this as if we're not doing it. And I can assure you, we're doing everything possible to try and look for guidances. And yes, we do see, like 777s, 222s on license plates. I arrived last night in the driveway after my night out, and I looked at the clock, it was 11:11. So we're still getting these timestamps. But the whole point of it all is, does it feel like synchronicity, or does it feel like perhaps somebody's playing a game? We're not getting a lot of good feelings from seeing these things. Why? Well, it's mostly because as we go through our day, we have a lot of troubles. And we were wondering, well, is the universe saying, you made it through another day and we're going to give you some signs, or you're doing fine? We're just wondering, when are we going to stop having these enormous bumps in the road that are very uncomfortable? And it's not bumps in the road like you're driving over a pothole. It's interactions with people that are sometimes still very unpleasant. And it's still the government that is restricting our freedoms. It's still the capitalists that are making money hand over fist during this pandemic. The one percenters, like this guy Schwab from Germany of the, I think he's a Davos Bilderberger person. He's like 87 years old, and he's one of the powers that be on the planet. And, you read his life story. Well, he goes back to, the days of Adolf Hitler. I don't know if he was Hitler Youth or what, but, these are the kind of people who are the one percenters. They are people who learned their stuff through Hitler. Fascism, which is the corporate world using the government to prop themselves up at the expense of all the people. And in the Americas, we've got Donald Trump. And why is it that anyone would vote for Donald Trump after it's revealed that despite being a billionaire, he pays $0 in tax? The checkout girl who can't afford to make rent and can't afford to buy food for her children, working as a checkout at Walmart, pays more tax than Donald the fuck Trump. If you're a Trump person and you're voting for that jackass, then you are crippled mentally. And then, I'm terribly sorry, but if you're laughing because you're a Democrat, you're a jackass voting for that twat. I'm serious. The only smart people in America are the ones who have decided, I am not going to vote for either of these parties ever again. Never, never, never. I'm not going to give my consent to be governed by criminals. What do you call that? You're a billionaire and you manage to slough off every single tax dollar owed for decades? That's criminal. Someone says it's creative accounting. I call it criminal. And maybe, if the IRS looks through it and they say, well, it's all legal deductions, well, it's still criminal. Why? Because the people that created these tax laws are creating these tax laws for their own benefit. And maybe it's not criminalized, but I think it is. It's called RICO. RICO is for going after corrupt organizations. And both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in the United States are RICO. Both of them. Corrupt organizations. And all the people that are involved with corrupt organizations, they got to go down too. So, those of you who are like the QAnon people, that we're not supposed to say the word on Facebook anymore, or I don't know where. It's like you hear these stories that they're censoring you if you say QAnon. I'm sorry, if you're a jackass and you think that somehow this QAnon thing is going to work, where the hell is it going to work? You thought that Donald Trump was your ally? I'm sorry, he's done sweet fuck all in his 4 years as president. He's a useless person. Useless person. So there's nothing going on with this QAnon thing. It was like, there was like 42,000 indictments years ago, and then it was up to 52,000, then 77,000 sealed indictments. Seriously, nothing is being done with this stupid fantasy that somehow QAnon is going to go and solve the world. What is going to solve the world? You got to keep digging through all of this stuff. Some people are so brainwashed, it's like they haven't even pulled off the first layer of brainwashing. And I find these people and I'm going, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you? And I would rather watch 12 hours of football on Sunday than use my brain. So, what I feel about humans on planet Earth is they're too flippin' lazy to look at this stuff. They think it's too hard. They're intellectually challenged. I always go back to the analogy of Star Wars. It was like there was a lot of people that wanted to join the rebels because they were sick to death of being ruled by the evil emperor. Where are those people on planet Earth? The people who are interested in anything to do with Star Wars, do you think that they want an actual revolution here to get rid of our tyrants? No. Lazy fuckers. Lazy fuckers, that's what they are. They're like, eyes are glued to the screen. Hollywood will show you all this stuff. But in their own real life, lazy motherfuckers. So, who are the people who are crusading for change on planet Earth? They're a very small minority. Most people immediately say, the people who refuse to engage their brain, the first thing they say is conspiracy theory. They are so programmed by mainstream news. They're so stupid. I mean, these are people with university degrees. Some of these people are teaching your children at high school or university, and these people are absolutely, it's like they'll be the one that is teaching critical thinking to the children. It might be an English teacher or something, and they're teaching critical thinking. What do you think about this? Lots of questions. But when it comes to their own life, these people sit down and they never squawk because they got it good. They got enormous teachers' unions that have given them fat contracts, and they're sitting pretty, and they're looking forward to a nice cost of living adjusted payment every year in their retirement. They're never going to do anything because they're fat and lazy and they got it good. So who's left to teach you critical thinking? I don't know. Every time I look around and somebody who is a truth speaker, they're in Facebook jail. So Facebook is a RICO. It's a racketeer. It's all tied in. All of these big companies, these big tech industries from California, they're all RICO. So Americans and everyone else in the world as well, your corporations are RICO. Corrupt organizations, your governments are RICO. You're looking at Planet RICO. So, what people end up doing, and they say, well, I can either talk about the RICO situation or I can join them. And, if I join them, there's probably a better chance that I'm going to live with yachts and boats and houses and cars. Or, maybe I'm going to be selling crack on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. I got to tell you that the quality of humanity could never be as it is today 150 years ago. 150 years ago, before we had all these technologies that made life easy, the people were smart. The people knew they had to depend upon themselves. They had to know how to fix everything. They were very handy in so many different ways. They were survivors. The people today know nothing. Nothing is taught in the school system that's really useful. Nothing. Our society is designed to flunk. This generation, the people alive today, are all flunking. And look at me. I'm talking to my smartphone because everyone else is busy today, Sunday, watching football.